Okay, so we will get started. I'm going to put it on speaker view. So please, there's a couple of housekeeping pieces that I have to cover. One, I was going to put a picture on the wall there before and I forgot. Another thing, my dogs are inside today with me because it is pouring rain here. So I'm really hoping that nobody makes a sudden move, because if they do, you're going to hear what you think is about a 500-pound dog. And he's actually 4 different kinds of beagle. And he's got little man syndrome. So I hope he doesn't bark and disturb us, but I can't put him outside because it's pouring rain. Another thing is that these calls are recorded. I am on speaker view now, so you can see me on the replay and little boxes of a few of you. But if you are going to ask a question or jump into the conversation and you don't want to be your face to be on the recording, please remember to turn your camera off, and then it will go to speaker view to you, but it will only show your name. If that matters to you and you want to keep yourself hidden, then maybe think about something other than an online business, but that's a story for another day. Okay, any other, and I've got notes here and notes in front of me. And I know I've said it a few times, but just for people who are just joining now, change your name if you entered as Vicky Dixon. That was my error. I sent out the link that I registered through in Zoom, so you can change your name to be your own name, your business name, your human design handle, whatever you'd like. All right, so we are going to talk about a lot of things today, and we're going to do a fun activity if I can get the tech to work. So like everybody say a prayer to the tech gods that it works. But first I'd love to go over your homework with you. Now I know the replay didn't go out until last night, but I see some familiar faces that were here the other day as well. So feel free to unmute and talk with us, or pop your stuff in the chat. I will try to keep up to the chat for as long as I can, but at some point it's going to be too distracting for my brain. And I will go through after and answer all the questions like I did the last time. I did see someone asking where the replay is. There's a guide section in Facebook for this, this event. And every day we will go in and put the replay in and the answers to the questions. And it will be emailed out to you as well. Our goal is going to be within 24 hours from now on. So before we get started, are there any other questions for the lay of the land? Any feedback before we get going? Okay. So how have you been doing with knowing who your customer is for this report? Do you feel like you have, and you can pop in the chat a yes or a no, or you can talk if you want to expand on that a little bit. Do you know who your customer is for this report that you're going to create?
I very quickly found that answer because it was an answer my business partner and I had already pondered, and it feels very in alignment with what we're offering. And it began more as we were sharing the vision that we were receiving, the feelings that were drawing us in a specific direction, and that led to a very quick understanding of who our customers are.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And who are they?
Our clients are people who have an initial understanding and curiosity of astrology, human design, I Ching, gene keys, essentially a more profound understanding of self. And they are looking for more understanding and what's next. Our clients are also going to be small to mid-sized businesses. We're bringing clarity in relationships, what it looks like, what it feels like to work in at least harmony. That's the worst case scenario. What we're intended to go is showing them synergy.
Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing with us. And did you notice that Chris didn't tell us how old his person was, or what that person drives, or how much money they make, or if they live in suburbia, or any of that stuff? Not super duper important for this exercise. I'm just reading the chat. Okay. I also need to turn up the brightness on my computer. There we go. So Jason says, yes, you know who your customer is. Great. Parents. I love that. Vicky Dixon is saying parents. I had this like fantasy when I started my nutrition business. I had this fantasy, like it really was in my heart to work with kids. And through my case studies, it just wasn't kids that I was dealing with. There were a couple of kids that I dealt with, and the parents were a bit of a nightmare as far as nutrition went. And it just evolved that I worked with somebody different, but I have such a heart for children. I love to see people bringing human design to parents and to kids because like that's how we're going to change the world, right? It's so powerful, even in our own families. So that's amazing. I have a very small list. Currently, my customers are people who know me. Okay, cool, Trish. Okay. So then the thing that I would be asking myself in that situation is if your customers are people who already know you and who have like been following you on another journey or part of another business, then you are probably the person who's bringing human design to them. So that's a different kind of place that they're in than maybe Chris's customer. Wow. I plan on making my customers cruise ship passengers in the future. Wow, that's cool. Beginners who just heard of human design, college students entering the workforce. That is really cool. My customers are people who are stuck. Yes, stuck is a big thing. Yes. Okay. People going through a midlife crisis. Yes. Midlife awakening. Yes, we're here for it. Okay. So anybody else want to share about their customer before we keep going through the homework questions? There's somebody, Cheyenne. Every time I see or Cheyenne's, I see your name and it's almost exactly the same as a friend of mine's name, and it's like, whoa. Okay, so do you have a clear idea of your offer ladder? So your offer ladder is your product suite, your services suite. Do you have a clear understanding of what that is? Because we need to know how your report is going to fit into that ecosystem. We don't need to know, you need to know. Anybody want to share? No, some heads are shaking no. So we'll talk about this a little bit, okay? Chris?
Trish does. Trish, are
Sorry?
you waving your hands because you want to speak?
Yeah, I was trying to find the little hand thing down there and I'm not fast enough. I just wanted to say I actually sent out my first email to my very small email list and I've completed my blueprint. It took me like 6 months and I worked with a virtual assistant and we did it in Canva and then we transferred it over. And now there's this new easier way to get it done, which is, well, we'll see. But what I did, I was just selling my blueprint for $55. And I had the and I did a gates, an extra, gates for an extra, I think I was doing $33. I like those double numbers,
Mhm.
but after listening to you yesterday, I changed everything. So I'm doing the opening, like for the rest of the month, I'm going to do the blueprint for 47 or 37 and then the gates for 17, and then I'm also selling those lead magnets that we did in the boot camp for $3 each. And then I still have my one free overview that I did.
Okay, wow, you've been busy. Holy. Okay, so this is not picking anybody apart at all. This is just kind of how I roll. Remember that you're the boss of you in your business. Now I can't see. Oh, there you are, Trish. So if you love double numbers, go with double numbers. Like you don't have to do it that way. And if it's choice between 37 and 47, please go 47. If it's choice between 17 and 27, go 27. But I love that you incorporated those little like $3 things, because I think it was Amy that was sharing that. I thought that was absolutely genius for like a clickbait or trippy kind of thing to purchase. That's really cool. So do you have other offers in your business, or you're only doing these reports?
I am offering personal readings. I don't want to, I'd rather not that be my income because that wears me out and there's a lot of work behind it. When I didn't state that I was doing $20 off, but I was planning on raising my price in May up $20. So I would go from 37 to 57. But do you still recommend 47 and only going up $10?
Well, I mean, it's up to you. If you have it now at 37, so weird how the face moves when I'm on this. If you have it now at 37, so how are you marketing it? That would be my question. How are you marketing it?
I just did one email and that email is linked to Facebook and Instagram, but not my personal. And I plan on doing an Instagram live today and doing some posts today. It's still morning here, so I've got time.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, the thing that we miss, and we are going to spend our entire last call, maybe our last 2 calls on marketing, because in this six session thing. So the thing that we miss, the mistake that I think most people make, is not marketing your stuff enough, because we tend to think that everyone sees our stuff. And we tend to think that we're talking too much and we're selling too much and we're talking about our own stuff and all of this stuff that we have. And I want you to remember that you are the only person who sees 100% of your stuff. You're the only person who sees everything that you put out there. You are lucky if 10% of people see the rest of, see all of your stuff or see anything that you put out there. So, yeah, get talking about it, get showing them in your stories what you're doing. And how I would do it, instead of saying, I don't think you're saying a price reduction, but I often say, like I'm trying to just think how I word it. Just give me 1 second. Like a last chance at this price is how I do them. And I let them know, like, the price is going up. And I might send, if the price is going up in, May for something of mine, like say it's going up a month from now, I will do a countdown to when that price goes up. And you'll sell, like, you can do an actual countdown in your stories on Instagram or something. Yeah. So yeah, I would do a countdown and just keep sending them information about it. But
I
that's going to
did
be
for a
really,
limited time only is what
that's fine.
said.
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. An introduction price. So if you're here and you're just starting to get your report, you can put it out. I love introductory pricing, because it lets us get the kinks out. It lets us also see, okay, like maybe what's missing. Maybe I need to go back to the drawing board and add something. Manifesting generator, you might have missed something in the process, right? Maybe you get a lot of feedback and it's this, 6 people bought your report and they all have the same type of question. Well, you know that you need to add something else into that report. You also get to test all of your sales process and see, okay, where are the glitches? Where are the hiccups? Where is it perfect? All of those things. So yeah, I love introductory pricing. I think that's one of the smartest things that we can do. So I'm just going to, we can continue this conversation, Trish, but I'm going to backtrack to the chat because someone asked, what is an offer ladder? And I don't want to leave you like hanging way back and you're still sitting there going, oh my God, what's an offer ladder? What are they talking about? So your offer ladder is just, somebody else said in the chat that there's a step stool right now, which I love. Your offer ladder is just a ladder of the things that you have in your business for sale. So it could start out with, like, Amy was on the call the other day and she had, I think, $3 reports, and then let's say a $10 report, and then whatever else she has. But maybe you have, so your free chart is going to be your lead magnet, best lead magnet you're ever going to have in your business. And then, you might have a low end report. Low end doesn't mean quality, but like you might have a small report, and then you might have a more in-depth report. And then you might have a reading, and you might have one-on-one coaching. Like, you could have anything you want, right? Everybody does it differently. Does anybody follow Chris? I don't even know how to pronounce her last name, but Christine Inge, I-N-G-E. Okay, Jamie's saying yes. So I don't know her at all. I just know that I'm very envious of her SEO because she comes up first in every Google search that I ever do for anything human design related. So a trick that you can use is that you can put, this has nothing to do with your reports, but you can put something of hers through a search engine tool like Neil Patel's Answer the Public. You can put her website through there and see what she's ranking for. If you want to improve your SEO, that's just a little unrelated thing. But she doesn't get in the room with anybody that I can see. Her main offer, I think she calls it maybe a map or something like that, but her main offer is that thing. So you don't like, let's just not fall into the trap of thinking that we have to have an offer ladder that includes one-on-one services or in the room services with people, because we don't. If that's not your jam, you can totally let go of that. And the other thing that I'd love for you to consider is that you probably will, I got distracted by somebody buying her map because I'm like, oh my God, I'm like stopping myself from getting that map because I buy all of the things all of the time for human design. You could have a full like shop page of just reports, and that could be your whole business. Because once you create this report once, like Sylvana is going to be here with us next week for the tech support, and we're going to be actually building the report. And I don't know if you've played with the new report tool yet, but it is so simple, even I can manage it. And so you're not going to create just one report. You're going to get in there, you're going to have ideas, you're going to be following your strategy and authority, and you're going to be creating a bazillion things. So you could just have a shop page on your website where you're, or you could, every month on Instagram is a new theme, or Facebook or wherever you are is a new theme. Every month in your email list is a new theme. You can do anything you want. So that, I hope, answers the offer ladder question. Does anybody else want to talk about their offer ladder, how they're doing things?
I'm happy to.
Hi. Oh, sorry, I didn't even see I saw your hand a second ago and then I didn't go back. Hi.
Hi, that's okay. Yeah, my name is Davina. So yeah, I just put it in the chat of where I'm at currently. So in order to engage with people right now, I'm actually reaching out to people and asking if they'll do a research call with me. And I do a little mini reading so they can just start to get a taste, a sample. I'm going to be creating a report soon, so I don't know what that price will be and what it'll be yet. So my initial offer is a human design reading. I was saying 222, but you've encouraged me. I actually figure for right now, since I'm starting out, 197. And then, yeah, leading that into a 6-month transformational coaching and healing one-to-one container at basically 5,000.
Good.
Or they
Good.
could do monthly payment plans at 1,000 a month.
Okay. And are you open to feedback?
Yes, absolutely. Please. That's why I'm sharing.
Okay. I love your research call where they get something back, because I think that that's something that's often missed. And you're Manny Gen too, right? So like we don't have time for stuff that like, I mean, I'm not probably going to be the person who gets on connection calls and all of that stuff just because like, just for no reason, right? But I love that you're promising them something. That's so cool. Oh, I lost your stuff up here. So here's something that I learned in my retail days. I had a women's clothing store for 15 years. And whenever something wasn't selling, I raised the price. So we tend to think we need to lower the price. So I hear you saying, so it was 222 and then I lowered it to 197. If I was in the room with you, I would have advised you to increase it to 297. Like I am never going to be the person who tells you to lower your prices. Probably. I mean, I will give feedback if there's something that's like, whoa, this is way out of line. But there is psychology behind that in sales, in sales training that, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, so I've only actually offered that pricing to like one or actually like 2 people. So
Yeah.
I haven't actually put it out there even to my email list. Like I've tried to just engage them like, hey, do you know what your human design type is? And just starting some conversation. So I actually like would like to this week, because it's my 8-year anniversary of leaving corporate. So
Oh, congrats.
yeah, the
Congrats.
15th was Monday. But yeah, so yeah, I actually would like to put out some type of offer. I really would love to have like a handful of people do readings with me, like right away. Get some people on the book. So I was thinking of even offering some sort of limited, like celebratory, pricing, something to make it enticing. So, I mean, maybe
197.
I could offer it for one, say
Yeah.
the price is $397, and right now to celebrate, it's $197. Does
Yep.
that
Yeah, or like my intro price is 197, and on May 31st, it goes up to this.
Okay.
And you will sell. My experience has been that I sell more when I tell people the price is going up than when I put something on sale. Unless it's like
Yeah.
a Black Friday or something like that, that where you want to participate in the craziness, then yeah. So yeah, that I love the intro price for that. Are you on social?
Yes.
Okay, so story, 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 story. Take them behind the scenes with you. Show them what you're working on, all that jazz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. And please remind me when we get to the end of this call, everybody, to take a picture, because I meant to write that down for myself and I forgot to do it. So, okay. I'm going to go to Lori and then I'll come back to you, Chris. Lori, it's good to see you.
Hi, nice to see you. So I am doing my first event where I have a booth coming up in May, so I'm
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yeah.
And I'll do like 20 or 30-minute readings with people there. And I first wanted to find out, what if people don't know their birth time when you're at an event like that? What would you suggest? Number one. But I'm also Sunday, I am doing my first paid reading. I've been doing them for free for 2 years.
Oh my gosh. So you've got lots of practice. That's amazing. You're going to be so amazing.
But I do have some things in my chart where I'm like, I don't think I know enough. But but one thing I've offered, and get your thoughts on this, is, so I'm doing it for 222 is what I gave it to her for. And I said, right now I'm doing a special where you'll get a 30-minute follow-up call. And so I'm giving that 30-minute follow-up call for any questions that may come, but that also gives me an opportunity to help her see things come up and that we can dive deeper. So it's another way to get them into further readings instead of thinking it's a one-off thing, and that, okay, I'm going to do a human design reading and I'm one and done and I'm good to go, that they can see how things can come up over time.
Yeah. So do you want to do one-on-one coaching? Is that the goal of your business?
I don't see that as my forever thing. I plan on working toward doing some workshops and group things coming up. I'm a man gen, so I have some energy for that. And but I do know when I'm one-on-one with someone, my energy really penetrates theirs, and I have things that just come through me that I don't even know that I know.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of that in my chart, a lot of the sensing and knowing, and so I know that that's beneficial when I'm one-on-one, and I do other types of coaching like that with people as well. But yeah, but to me, I'm looking at it as it's a good place to start.
Yep.
To enter into that realm. But I know it's not my end all be all.
Yeah. Okay. So, so yeah, I asked that because this will totally set you up for one-on-one work. So I just asked that just to kind of like check yourself before you wreck yourself. If you're not someone who wants to do that, because that can happen sometimes where we accidentally think that we have to be a one-on-one coach. And then we get in there and we're like, oh my God, but we've trained our clients that that's the system that we're developing. So that's basically what you're doing. And I love that model of the 30-minute follow-up. I don't love it at the price point you're doing it, but we'll get you raising your prices very, very quickly. Because that's a super deal. But again, you can, if you want to keep going with this, the reading and then the 30-minute follow-up, this is your intro thing that you're doing. I've been doing readings for 2 years and now I'm offering it to the masses, and this is my intro. I can't guarantee I'll be doing this forever. You'll hear me say that a lot in my own offers. People come to me and say, when are you doing the content by design course again? It's like, I'm a manifesting generator. I have no freaking idea if this will ever happen again. Like, I know the plan is that I want to do it in 6 months, but you know how it is. If you're like, it may or may not happen. Right. So, so I think just leading with that this is what I'm doing now, and that's okay. The birth date thing at an event, and I'll open it up to others as well for this. how I would do it personally is that I would have them, if you have, especially if you have a second device that they can use their phone, I guess. But I would have them run the charts for morning, noon, and night in the beginning, just to see what's different. And are you doing mini readings at the event?
Yeah, so it's going to be random people. It's an entire like spirit, mind, body, spirit event where everyone just has booths.
Okay.
So it's not a convention or something where, it's just people coming and visiting different booths.
Yeah. So that's personally, that's what I would do. Just get them to run 3 things. And, if there is a God, you'll get at least a lot of the chart is the same. And I would explain to them the importance of birth time being exact. But, if they come up as a generator the whole time, because chances are they don't know a whole lot about human design anyway. So whatever, especially because you have that thing where you can just go in and know what they need to know, you'll be able to give them like a couple of things or one thing and how they're going to use it in their life. The other thing that I would invite you to consider is having a report ready that they can buy. When is the event?
Well, they're paying for the readings. I'm not doing it free.
Oh, good. Okay, good. That's even better.
Those readings are going to sit down for. I'll run their chart while I'm sitting there. They're going to pay me
Okay.
for my time that I'm there. They're not just getting. And I was going to just pre-print like information about generators, manifesting, and so that when they do pull up whatever they are, I can just hand them a piece of paper. You're a generator. Here you go. And then I can talk about their chart, things like that.
Yeah. Perfect. 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 And when is the event?
May 18th and 19th.
Okay. So it may be an option to have a Bodygraph chart report ready that they can buy there, because there will be, like, I'm that person who's not going to be satisfied. I'm going to think it's super, super cool. And I'm going to buy whatever it is that you have at one of those things. And there are other people like that, right? Who are just going to want to go further. The other thing that you may consider is a coupon code that, if it's this intro reading offer for 222, that, this isn't the pricing anymore, but I'm honoring it for this event, or this is a special that I'm running for this event. Some kind of a special for this event. I would give them something in their hand, or QR code that they can do on their phone directly to your website, depending on what tech stack you have in the back end.
Yeah, and I was also looking into a possibility, and not really sure if this is doable, but a portable printer that could print out the report at that time, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it would be nice, but yeah, we get all these like grandois of how it has to be, right? Yeah. Yeah, they'll be impressed regardless. You know how it is. Like when you nail somebody with like the thing in their design and they're like, oh my God, like that's the
Holy
ability.
shit, that's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody knows that about me. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So does that help?
Yeah, and I just wanted to like but yeah, I'll hold that price like you said, and then let them know this is just because of this event, this is my discount is the 222,
Yeah. Yeah. That's exciting about the event. Congrats. Congrats,
Thanks.
congrats, congrats. Okay, Chris.
Thank you. My partner and we are feeling called to do a slightly different perspective. Instead of a ladder, we see it more as what we're offering our clients is a foundation, an expansive, firm, solid foundation based on self-awareness and self-understanding, and instilling in them, inspiring them to feel more connected with themselves in a way that works more guided towards their existing strengths. Receive the empowerment and the encouragement, inspire curiosity. That way, it feels more expansive than a horizontal or a lateral movement, something that's typical to um, a lower 3D experience. And I completely honor that experience. My clients, though, are seeing a different perspective, and it looks more like an expansive horizon than a ladder to climb.
Mhm. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for that. Blue Star, Projector Splenic. Hi.
Hey there. I don't know if this is the right time to bring this up, but I'm an energy healer, and I'm wondering how to dovetail the reports with my my client practice. Excuse me. So that my main focus is energy healing, but but anyway, I would just like to be able to dovetail human design with my energy healing practice. And so as far as offerings go or marketing goes, are we going to be doing more combos about that as well?
Yeah, the last 2 days we'll focus on marketing your reports and getting them out there, but you can go ahead and ask your question now.
Well, my question is I'm just unsure how to merge human design with my energy healing practice as far as clients go and my focus.
What services do you offer now?
Energy healing.
What kind of energy healing? Like, are you doing Reiki? Are you doing,
It's the Atana method. It's quantum energy healing.
and is it in person or virtual?
It's remote and in person.
Okay, so are your clients already aware of human design?
No, they're not. Well, actually, I've been introducing it to them bit by bit.
Yeah. So I think that human design, it has been my experience that human design fits with just about anything else on the planet. Like I've yet to come up with something that, like, my husband is a painter, like actual painting on the walls painter. And he is his cross is vessel of love. And there are times where people don't pay, contractors don't pay, they skip town, they file for bankruptcy, whatever it is that they do. And he has to have some difficult conversations, and he has an undefined emotional solar plexus. So these conversations are difficult for him and he would rather avoid them. And so when I talk with him about human design, I'm like, okay, well, the way that you do everything in life is through this vessel of love. Like, you are the most loving person on the planet. So you have to go into these conversations from love. You have to be able to, and I'm not like bossing him around, but I mean, he's a painter and he's using his human design. And like, there's times where there's something happening in his world and I'll be like, okay, well, it sounds like she's a whatever, 1-3 profile or whatever it is. So I think it mixes with everything. And, especially in the energy healing space, like, I mean, people are hungry to know themselves. And like Chris said about self-awareness, we all want to know ourselves better. And if they're already hiring you for energy work, I would think they would be wide open to human design. So maybe some of those, and I don't like the term clickbait, but I'm going to use it here, like what Amy was talking about yesterday, how she has those lower price point offers where they kind of discover a little bit about their human design. And then is there a way that you can mix some of the like theories of the quantum healing that you're doing with human design?
Well, like I find the thing that I love about the human design, it's a very good diagnostic tool. And I'm just now starting my classes, my level 2 classes. So I'm just trying to get a better idea about how I can integrate the quantum human design with the energy healing. And I don't want my focus to be entirely on human design because my priority is my energy healing. So I just have just try to get clear about how to merge and integrate it with another practice.
Yeah. I think you'll just gradually over time, as you go through the quantum human design pathway, you will gradually start to add each piece of what you're learning into your quantum energy healing practice. That's the invitation, is to bring it into what you're doing now. And I mean, for you, you're going to model to your clients how you're using this or how they can use this, right? So right now you're looking at type, strategy, authority in level 1, I think. I can't remember exactly.
I'm in level 2, so we're
Okay.
at centers. And I was thinking, like, you know, like as far as my services, to be able to offer an add-on report or an add-on reading, and then yeah. So I guess yeah. So that's trying to understand that kind of a picture.
Yeah.
Thank
I would
you.
just, yeah, I think sometimes, and this isn't just for you, it's for all of us, especially I notice you have a second line in your profile too, and that is a trip and a half. But I think we obsess over making things matchy, and that like everything has to line up perfectly when we bring something in, but it really doesn't. Like, you just really put all of the tools in your toolbox. Like, imagine if you had a carpenter come to your house and all they brought was a hammer. Like, you would look at him and go, like, or her, and go, what the heck? You know, and like, you're not going to have a plumber come to fix your leaky faucet and think, oh my God, he has too many tools with him. Why did he bring that big toolbox in? He could have just brought a wrench. You know, like, the more tools we have in our, I don't think there's anyone on this call. Well, you can let me know in the chat. I don't think there's anyone on this call who has one tool, because human design draws the people who are like collecting all of the tools. So, and I think that our clients really rely on us and they trust us. And I mean, you're a 6'2", your clients are trusting you to be able to show them the way, right? With all of your tools. So I think it can be easier than and you know, that's a question that I ask myself a lot, is what if this were easy? What would I do if this were easy? If this were easy, what would the next step that I took be? Because sometimes I think we get in our heads and we make it more complicated than it really needs to be. And that, not saying that you're doing that, but I know that I've seen myself do that a lot, where I just have to kind of be, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So we are going to, we're going to do a breakout room if I can figure it out. I think I can figure it out. I Googled it first. We're going to do a breakout room and it's going to be quick. What time is it? Oh gosh, we've only got 20 minutes left. Okay. So I am going to split us up into breakout rooms. How many people are here? Okay. And you're going to answer 3 questions and you're going to make it super, super quick. Okay. Like fast, lightning fast. I want you to just give people your 1-word answer. The price you think is reasonable for someone to pay for a human design report. So like, you can just pull this out of thin air if you'd like. But what do you think is reasonable for someone to pay for a report? How many pages do you think a report should be? And what should a report cover? So 3 questions. And I'll pop them in the chat. I'm going to split you out into breakout rooms. Assign automatically. And I know if you hate breakout rooms, I'm that girl too, but I'm sorry, it's just going to be fun. I promise you it'll be quick and it'll be fun. Okay, welcome back everybody. As you're joining, I see some smiles, so that's always a good thing. I know breakout rooms can be taxing for the introverted in the group. I understand that, but I would love to maybe a couple people come on, maybe 3 or 4 people. I should have had you appoint someone in your room, but maybe people from different rooms, just pop on and let me know the answers to those questions. We didn't have enough time. I know that was super quick, Astrid. The answers to those questions. So what did you come up with for what a price of a report should be? What were the answers that you got for that?
the group answers tended to vary significantly based on region of the world, as well as what their tactics were. But it felt like everybody had a really good sense of value for price.
Good, 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 good. Anybody else? What kind of pricing did you come up with in the group? What kind of prices were thrown out there? Because this was really just a throw it out there exercise.
In our group, we had we recognized how there's such a variety of what you can include, and depending on what you're going to do, and it went anywhere from $47 to someone who has a line one that said she knows people who would want that deep dive and research where it's going to be $111 because it's a lot thicker and a lot more pages. So it really is going to be personalized. So the price can vary from anywhere in there. I know I personally have paid $250 for a report from Christy Ng, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Thanks, Lori, for sharing. Anybody else want to share the prices that came up in your group?
The prices that came up in our group, somebody said $97 for like 50 pages.
Okay.
And it was really expansive, but I guess I didn't realize, like, even as the one that was Christy Ng, the 200 and I'm curious how many pages that was.
Okay. Lori, can you share how many pages just while we're here? Thank you.
I don't even remember, but part of when you buy her report, you get access to her portal. So she has a lot of things in her portal. So you're kind of paying more than just getting a report, because you have access to this huge resource center of where she has different classes or different things that you can go through your chart with inside of that. So, but yeah, it was like a book. It's a lot. I just saw Jason put there 200 pages, but I just remember it was a lot of pages, but you're paying more than just for that report.
Thank you.
Although I haven't used the portal that much. It was man jam. Like
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like, yeah, okay. I get you. Yeah. Sam, thank you, Lori.
One thing that kind of came up, was that someone had mentioned that they had gotten a report and they had paid $50 for it and it was 300 pages. And the idea that the price was very low. I can see you. But part of it that she was saying was that when she got the report, out of the 300 pages, a lot of it was so much repeat information. And so they just kind of repurposed it in the same like gist. And so for me, I don't really, when I look at something, if they tell me it's a comprehensive report, I read comprehensive report and I read price. I don't read how many pages it is, because I also don't know how big the type is. Are they doing like 2 sentences on 3 pages? Like, I have no idea. So for me, I look at it more as how they describe the report's going to be and what it covers, and not necessarily how long it is. I have no idea how many pages a report should be until I'm like, oh, okay, well, I want to fit all these things in it. And then what does that equal, right? But somebody else could fit in completely different things. And so I don't know if the pages really have any hold for me.
I love this so much, you guys. This is totally where we're going with this. So I love it so much. Thank you for that, Sam. That's like, yes, mic drop. Okay. So, just super quick, is there anybody else who'd like to comment on how many pages in your group, how many pages did people think that it should be? Lori? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Davina.
Yeah, a couple of us said 20 pages max. For me, I was thinking something around $47. So it's more of just like an introduction, and yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
What I was going to say is it's also important to know your customer. Are they deep divers? Are they skimmers? What are you using that report for? So I think the customer base and knowing them is going to be super important to know what you're going to be offering.
Yes. You guys are doing my work for me. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I love it. Davina?
Well, I just like kind of responding to that. For me personally, like I look at what would I want,
Mhm.
and I don't want a 200-page report.
Mhm.
Like I don't want a 100-page report. Like I don't want a book. If I'm going to spend like $200, I want to have some face-to-face time. Like I'd rather spend 200 or more than 200. But that's just me personally, and that's where I'm at right now. So it's
Yeah.
totally going to be across the board, I think, and
Yeah.
finding what works for your energy and then the people you're calling in.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Yes. I love it. Okay, so one last question quickly. What did you come up with a range for what you think it should cover in your group? Was there a range of what you think it should cover? Was it like, oh my God, everybody thinks we have to have every piece of human design? How did you come out on that? Sam, go ahead.
I don't think we actually got there. One thing that I'm noticing though is that I'm wondering where there's a lot of price discrepancies, and it's kind of funny because I'm wondering if it's by country or if where people are in the US, because I'm in Seattle and so prices on things are a lot higher. And I understand the idea, like I have friends that live in Utah in certain areas. I understand where people are paid a lesser wage or the cost of living is different. But I think all of us have to remember that we're online and therefore you can charge whatever the fuck you want. Sorry. Like, and literally it will go across the entire nation, right? So like you'll still find your people. So just because somebody down the street is charging something different in their business or at the local market does not mean that that's your financial market. Your financial market is expansive and vast. And so you get to charge what you want because it inhibits, like it covers, right?
Yes. Yes. And I love Jason. That was my favorite saying when I had my store, whatever the market will bear. That was my like my go-to, you know, when we would get new stuff in and the girls would be, you know, I'm like, well, whatever the market will bear, like it that's what you charge. So yeah, that's a really good point, Sam. Thank you for that. Okay, so what the point of this exercise was for you to see that you can do whatever you want with your report. You are the boss of your business and you can do whatever you want, and you are never going to make everyone happy. And somebody is going to think your report is too cheap, and somebody's going to think it's too much, and somebody's going to think it's not enough, and somebody's going to think it's too expensive. And it doesn't matter, because like the people who commented here all kind of brought us back to is that who is your customer? Who are you building this for, and what do they want? Because maybe you do have a customer who wants a 200-page report and wants all of the information. And maybe they are in your world because that's how you roll. And they like, I would imagine that Chris will create a very different report than what I will create, because our personalities are very, very different. And that is perfect because that's what we're creating according to our design. So I am going to give you some homework for this week as well, but I just would love for you to see that. And the other thing is, I think Sam, it might have been that you said something like this as well, but more isn't always more. So please don't go into creating this report, because we start on Tuesday with actually being in the room creating. Please don't go into this report thinking, oh my God, I have to create 365 pages of content, because you don't. What makes your report really, 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 really super freaking valuable is how is somebody going to use this in their life? Talk to them about how they are going to actually use it in their life. I have some actually questions here. We want to tell them why it's valuable. Maybe add in some struggles, tribulations, things that come up. We call it conditioning in human design. They're not going to know that word if they're new to human design. So like, again, it's know your customer. Is your customer a human design informed person? You're going to have your report created very differently than if they're new to human design. Give them the steps. Give them the steps with your report. So let's say that you're talking about, I love to pick on I love defined wills. A fun fact, about 99% of my clients have defined wills, which is freaky. And I have experienced it as one of the most conditioned places in human design. So what I'm going to show them is like how that, what I'm going to talk to them about is how that actually shows up in their real life and what they can do to step away from it. So it's like, I mean, yes, some people, one lines, yes, I know you want all the information, but the rest of us really don't need more information. In the age that we live in, we are inundated with information, right? My husband is a 1-3, so it's like, oh my God, if I hear the word research one more time, I'm gonna like bang my head on a wall. But I love 1-3s, but I just, it's like, I don't need all the information that he needs in order to make a decision, right? So give them the steps and let them know how it all fits together. How are they actually going to use this in their life? Break it down so that you're connecting all of the pieces with them. That's what people pay for, but they're paying for the transformation. And I think we talked about that in the last call is like, where is your customer now? Where do they want to be? And then your report, your human design reading, your code, all of your services become the bridge. So how will your report fit into this bridge? Stacy, what have you got? Oh, can you unmute?
As a 1-3, I think I get a little bit like overwhelmed where I want to go really deep, but then it's like, how do I, or trial and error, you know? So do we just create one report? There's like a part of me that wants to create several different reports, if that makes sense. But then I get myself so overwhelmed that then I don't start or I don't, finish it.
Yeah,
So
I was going to
it's,
say, if you start a bunch of things, will you not finish them? Will you leave them? Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to give you homework that's going to help you with this question. I think that it will be beneficial for the purposes of our time together here, because we're together till May 2nd. It'll be beneficial to start with one report. But that doesn't like, I really think we should all be taking advantage of this software and making tons of reports. Like I will be doing, if I ever catch up to my life, I will be doing tons of reports because, what you're going to find is that like your customer is going to change. As your business grows, your customer is going to change. And as a generator, you're going to always be responding to things that you see, to needs in your market, to maybe a planetary thing that we're experiencing. Like there could be any kind of things that you'll create a report for. But I think for this time, try to make yourself stick to one, just so that you make sure you get it done. And then you can do more. And I'm not saying that it's wrong for you to go deep. Like if you're a one-line profile and that's what you want, as long as that's what your customer is expecting from you. Like if they're used to consuming your blog and your podcast and your Instagram posts that are 2,200 or 2,199 characters long and all of those things, and they're used to you like really bringing in the depth, then you can bring, but I just would like you to invite you to play in the energy of, in order to go deep, in order to go deep, you don't have to get longer. In order to go deep, it doesn't have to be a bigger report. It can be just more substance to it. Does that make sense?
yeah, that makes sense. So I have 48 as my conscious sun.
Oh,
So
wow. That's
yeah,
cool.
I think one of the things that I'm learning is saying less with more, like give more, but say less. So maybe
Yeah.
I can use that for
Yeah.
the report.
Yeah.
So yes, that's helpful.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Good. You're welcome. Okay, so I'm trying to get a time here. Oh boy, we better hustle up here. Okay, so I'm just going to remind you of the stages of awareness and then go into the homework. And I will do the same thing. I will save the chat and I will go in and create a PDF with questions and answers and thoughts and all of those things so that we have them, and you'll have that within 24 hours in your email. And also it will be in the Facebook guide section as soon as I have the YouTube link, which is not something that I do. But as soon as it's sent to me, I will post it in the Facebook group for you. Okay, so the stages of awareness. So you want to know what stage your customer is at. And I know I'm kind of hammering on this, but it's really, really important. So there's 5 stages: unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and most aware. And I will go slowly through those. So someone who's completely unaware really doesn't even know they have a problem. It's probably not going to be your customer. They're probably not buying things. They're just living their life. Someone who's problem aware, like understands they have a problem. I'm just going to pick midlife crisis because it came up. Okay. Thank you, Lara, for putting the Facebook group link in there. So if someone is problem aware, they know that something is out of order in their life. And like, so they're going through midlife crisis, midlife awakening, and they're, whatever is going on in their life, and they feel like they're going crazy, and everybody in their life thinks they're crazy, and they're changing careers, and they're sick of their life and all of the things. So they know something's wrong, but they haven't really started looking at solutions yet, because she knows, I'm going to say she feels like this is something that everybody just has to go through at midlife, and it's just her turn, and she doesn't really see it as a huge thing that she would search out solutions for. Solution aware means that she has started to look at different solutions. So maybe she's gone to her doctor and talked about something there. Maybe she has searched out integrative medicine a little bit. Maybe she has played with having an astrology reading. Maybe she's going for some Reiki or some reflexology, and she's doing some self-care, but she still feels like she's going a little bit crazy. She knows all these solutions are out there, but she doesn't know which one to choose. Maybe she even has experienced a little bit with human design. Maybe it's kind of been playing in the back of her mind. So she knows there's all these solutions, but she doesn't know that human design is the solution yet. Product aware. Okay, so at that stage, if your customer's at that stage, you're selling her on human design as, and I'm saying her, please forgive me if it's a him, if it's whatever. You're selling that person on human design as the solution. And I think a lot of you are in that boat where your people don't really know yet what human design can do. Maybe they have heard about it a little bit, but it seems weird to them and they don't really get it. So I think that we can very easily fall into the trap of not explaining what it can do in their life well enough. We get on Instagram and we talk about being a manifesting generator and having our hands in all things, but we don't talk about what that really means to them. Or we talk about, being a 3-5 and running fast and breaking things. And we don't really talk about what that means in their real life. So why is human design the answer? What's it going to do for them? Product aware, they are probably really aware of human design. So if your audience is in this boat, you speak a lot differently than someone who doesn't really understand why human design can be an answer for them. And that could be if you're dealing with, well, maybe not with human design for business, but if your person is more human design aware, you're going to speak very, very differently in your reports and everything that you do. And then most aware, again, is probably not going to be a lot of our audience for the purposes of this report. We were going to role play how to speak to people in each stage, but maybe we'll leave that for another time because we're out of time here. Okay, so your homework, and I will write this out in the group as well. Your homework. Start to play with what stage of awareness your customer is in. So, does she know? Do they know they have a problem? Do they understand about different solutions on the market and you're just bringing them human design as another solution? Are they really familiar with human design that it could be something that moves them forward? And then what does your person, your customer, what do they really need to know about their own human design? Because remember that people are buying these reports because they want to be more self-aware. They're on a self-discovery journey. They're not buying a human design report. Most people are not buying a human design report to learn human design. Even when you buy a human design report, you may be buying it because you want ideas and you want to see how everybody else is doing things, but you also really deeply want to know yourself. So what does your person need to know about her own human design? HD I have on my notes. What purpose do you want this report to serve your business? Is it the end point? Like, is this the thing that you're offering? And you're going to, this is going to be your flagship thing. You're not going to get in the room with people. This is going to be the thing that you do. Or is it a step on that ladder? And then you're going to go have some fun. So you got 4 days until we meet again. And this goes into Stacy's question about like, how's she going to know which report to create? Any ideas how Stacy's going to know what report to create? Maybe Stacy knows how she's going to know what report to create.
Well, it's hi. It's
Hi.
interesting because even at the beginning, I was kind of struggling. Like I'm still in that space. Like I've had a lot of chronic illness and I've been through I've been through a lot of things in my life. So it was like, how am I going to incorporate all these things with human design? But I guess with you talking, it's kind of like how has it helped me? How has it helped me, heal myself and grow? So that's given me a lot of clarity.
Yeah, good. So yeah, something that like the easiest client, and this is not like, don't take this to the bank, okay, as the only thing for client avatar work. This is like so basic. But like if you're really like, oh my God, I don't know who I serve, go to you 5 years ago. Go to you when you discovered human design. Go to what were you dealing with? That's always going to be, because we have our journeys for a reason, right? But I was actually going to make it a little more simple than that. And I love what you said, Stacy, and that's probably a big clue into who you're here to serve. But I was going to offer that you can be in response for what to create. I know it's radical, right? Like, like I said, we make it more complicated than it needs to be. So what you are going to do over the next 4 days, all of us are going to do this, but you're going to look at the templates in Marketplace. So the templates that exist in Marketplace, just to kind of get a feel. You don't have to create anything, you don't have to, but just get a feel for what's there and know that you can change everything if you want.
Sorry, it's not in the marketplace. So this
Oh,
the
I'm
page,
like,
yeah, it's no longer in the marketplace. It's
oh, thank you.
under my reading reports tool right now. So
Thank
you will
you.
see all the templates listed right at the bottom of your reading reports tool where you will be able to install it. So it's no longer on the marketplace here.
Thank you, Victoria. I was going to say, who is this Vicky Dixon person? Oh, now you're Lara. Does anybody need Victoria to show us that? And I can only see 5 people, so maybe just pop it in the
please.
chat. Yes. Okay, Victoria, do you mind?
Okay. Just bear with me a second.
Good thing the tech team is here, because I told them I wouldn't do anything tech until next week.
Okay, so how do I share screen?
Oh, I might have to.
Okay,
Can you share or?
just let me know if you
Oh, yeah,
can see.
I see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now it's no longer in the marketplace, but when you will go into my reading report section, you will find the available reading templates listed over there. So we have 4 right now available, but our amazing Silvana is working on more templates and they will be as well listed here. So we're just gonna add on top of the list. So you can just click 3 dots here and select which format you want to install. Once it's installed, it will pop into your main reading reports list and you will be able to open it and personalize it. Yeah. More
Thank you.
questions coming?
Can you import from Canva, perhaps via PDF? Astrid is asking.
No, I'm getting this question probably every day, probably a few times a day. The reports should be built using our editor. Yes, you can upload pages as in images, but we do not recommend using that method simply because first of all, it's not comfortable. If you will change your mind, if you want to make edits to the report, that means you will go back to Canva because it's not an image, it's not editable. All the content is not editable. Plus, it adds on top the loading speed, the download speed for the customer. It affects the file in general. So please, we just recently released our new editor, which is amazing. We're getting amazing feedback from you guys, customers, and I love it. So use this new report editor to build your reports instead of actually importing it from Canva.
Thank you. So Jen is asking, is there a live help desk? kind of, sort of, sometimes. You're looking at her.
Kind of sort of sometimes. So we do have a live chat, which is like little bubble at the right hand side at the bottom, where you can send a message or send an email to support@bodygraphchart.com. However, our team is super, super small. Pretty much you can see all the support is here. It's just me, myself, and I. So yeah, and of course I do have some limited time when I actually in the office and replying to you. If not me, then of course maybe other team member might pick up and answer your question. But emails and live chat is definitely available, and we will try to help as much as we can if you will send us a message.
Thank you. And I will go through and answer all of these questions just to be, to honor people's time. I'll go through and answer all these questions after this call. And then they'll be in the Facebook group for you. So, so your homework, thank you, Victoria, for clarifying that. Don't listen to me on the tech stuff is the message. So one of the other things I'm going to invite you to do is to download as many free human design reports as you possibly can over the next 4 days. If you have the funds and you want to play in experimenting with, if there's one you've got your eye on and you've been wanting to do it, then just to give you something to kind of look around at, as long as you're not going to fall into comparisonitis, because this isn't about comparing what you're going to do with what someone else does. It's just kind of giving your brain some things for inspiration. How many people here have an open or an undefined head center? A whole bunch of us probably, right? Yeah. Yeah. So like a little bit of inspiration never hurt anybody. Generators and many gens. Yeah. Look at all of the human design books that you have. Look online at human design sites that you love. Like just fill your world with human design, even more so than usual over the next 4 days. Look at Instagram accounts from people that you love the way that they're communicating human design. Doesn't matter if their pictures are pretty, but look at like, what do you love about, especially if these one lines, like unpack it. What do you love about what these people are doing? I love carousels for this because it's really easy to see. I mean, it has to be, ideally, it's going to be pretty straightforward in a carousel, right? They're going to teach us something really, really quickly. So just then follow your strategy and authority. Follow your strategy, respond. Feel like if you're a projector, get yourself in front of a mirror and start to recognize yourself before you go to create your report. Put something that you've written through ChatGPT and ask them to recognize you. Ask them to tell you what's good about this blog post that you wrote or this, whatever. Like there's all kinds of things that we can do to be able to be open to following our strategy. But that's what I would love to invite you to play in. The energy I would like you to play in for the next 4 days. Gamify this a little bit for yourself. Make it fun, and allow yourself to follow your strategy. And that's how you'll know. So I love that you asked that question, Stacy. That's how you'll know which report you're going to create. You will get something to respond to as a generator. I guarantee you'll get something to respond to. So let's not wait for signy or signs. Let's take the signs that come our way. Jason is saying, oh, you're a reflector, Jason. You're going to be good to go in 4 days. He'll be just chilling. Okay. Oh, no 28 days. I'm sorry.
I need 24 more days. So,
Yeah,
can we meet up
sorry.
again in 28 days, please?
God, that's got
I got to get through that moon.
Yeah. And I complain about my emotional authority.
Please, come on, have some sympathy here. What's your
do.
strategy? The moon.
Yeah.
When I first heard that, I'm like, what does that mean? The moon? What am I supposed to do with that? That's fun to unpack.
It must be. I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine. Wow.
It's a good time.
Yeah. At least you can laugh. Okay.
Yeah.
Does everybody feel good about moving forward? That you're good to get through the weekend and get all of the fun things, start to play in the energy of your report, because we start to create on Tuesday. But don't feel pressure around it. If you're, well, you're ready or not, we're going to do this. So, I'll bring the fire and you just like make sure that you can stay in the room, and we'll have tech there to help us through all of the tech things, and we will get this started. Okay. All good? I'm looking at the chat here. Yeah. Okay. I can only see like 6 people and heads are nodding, so I'm going to take that as yes. Okay. So I will I'll jump off now and I will get this recording over to Gittes so that we can get it onto YouTube and into the group and emailed to you, and have fun over the next 4 days, everybody. Thanks for being here.